dive into YouTube today. Hopefully that will be okay. How are you, Andrea?
I'm well today.
That's good. So you weren't yesterday?
No, I was as well yesterday, but today I'm home alone. Yesterday I had my brother and my sister-in-law from Romania
Oh,
visiting
very
me.
nice. Very nice. Okay, good. Right. Okay. So today we're going to look at some common vocabulary mistakes. Now, these are going to be ones which are good for people in OET and good for people in IELTS as well. Sorry, let me just start recording that. So, yep, common vocabulary mistakes. Now, what I've got is I've got a list of words that I hear people make mistakes with a lot. Now, some of those words, the reason that they make a mistake is because it's very similar. Sometimes it's because they don't really know the meaning. Sometimes it's like a preposition that goes with it that changes, and we'll see that. But let's get started. Let's go and have a look. Now, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you one half. Okay, so each one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each one, there are 2 words. So it's words that people mistake for each other. Okay, so words that people mistake for each other. Okay, so the word compliant. Can you think of a word which is similar to compliant?
Compliment.
Not compliment. No, it's not the word that I'm thinking of. People don't mix up compliant and complaint. Yes. Oh, people make that mistake a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and work out words which are similar, or words that people often make a mistake with that's similar to it. And then we're going to look at the definition, and then we're going to look at an example that we can do. Now, what I think is you guys are probably going to be really good at giving me examples, because finding examples and putting them into a sentence is not that tricky, really, because you've done it before. But giving me the definition, that's a really tricky thing. In another language, defining a word. So what do you think is similar to accept?
Accept.
Accept. Yeah, very similar. What's similar to affect?
Effect.
Effect. Yeah. Now, this one's a bit different. Okay. Admit. How do people make mistakes with admit? It's not a word which is similar. It's a preposition. So what preposition can you put after that?
Admission?
No. Admission, not admission. Admit. Admit to. Yeah. So it's a strange one, this one. You'll see. You've got admit to something, but we've also got another one. So if I put another line in here, we've also got present. Okay, not present, but present. And we'll have a look at that one. I'll tell you why. Okay, advice. What do people
advise with
advise with an S? Exactly. We won't go through the meanings just yet. Assure. What's similar to assure?
Insure.
Insure or ensure. Yeah. So we could put another word in there and put insure as well. Yeah, that'll do us. Breath.
Breathe.
Breathe. Yes. Thank you very much. Emigrate.
Immigrant.
Immigrate. Yeah. Okay. Patience.
Patience.
Yeah. Patience with a CE. Yeah. Now invest. Now it's normally invest in, isn't it? That's the preposition that comes with it. People, I know this is going to seem really strange. People make a mistake with invest in, with buy. I see that a lot in IELTS. What do people mistake despite for?
In spite.
In spite.
In spite.
In spite of.
Of, yes. Okay. Now people make a mistake with attend, again, with the preposition attend to. Okay, so we've got our collection of words now. We've got compliant, complaint, accept, etc. Now let's go through and work as a group. Now what I was thinking was, If we have a problem finding the definition, where can we help out? How can we help ourselves if we don't really know what the definition of a word is?
Google.
Google? Yeah,
Google Translate.
yeah. Well, not Google Translate. Oh,
English.
no.
English
Go-
into English.
Google Translate is actually okay, isn't it, when you do word for word? But the
Yeah.
problem is that, for instance, this word. Okay. Now, it can be a verb, to present. It can be a time. It could be the present. Or I could give you a present. Now, do you have a word in your language which means all three of those things? Or have you got one word which means the same as present, as in a gift? Have you got one word that means now, as in the present, and to present as a verb? You've probably got three separate words. And in your language, there will be maybe the word for cup in your language might also mean a word for happiness. I don't know. I don't know your language, but you have to, when you do Google Translate, you might get the definition of a word and it might not be 100% accurate. So instead, let's get used to using not Translate, but
Wikipedia.
well, Wikipedia is okay. I use Wikipedia, but you wouldn't use it to find the definition of a word.
Dictionary.
A dictionary, yeah, in Google.
Dictionary.
So if we, what I think we should do as a group, let's try and define these words and show that they've got a different meaning. And if we struggle with the definition, we'll just go to Google and we'll type them into Google and we'll get the definition. Now, because I'm a teacher of English, I love words and I also love definitions. They're so precise. But sometimes the definitions in a dictionary, they can be even more confusing than the word you're trying to find. And I understand that that can be tricky, but let's work together. So what does it mean? I'm gonna pick one person here. Okay, I'm going to pick let me pick Sophia. Are you there, Sophia?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Hi, Sophia. Can you help me with the word compliant? I know you're an IELTS student. I thought we'd mix it up a little bit, but what does it mean to be compliant?
Compliant means something additional, something
Um,
followed by or following, coming along.
Okay, I like the idea. Okay, additional, no, I'm not going to go with additional. Following, that's a good idea. So normally it would be compliant with something, wouldn't it? So
Yes.
if you're compliant with your medication,
Education.
you're following it, I suppose. Yeah, following. Does anyone have a better word than following?
Obey. Obey or
Obeying. I like the idea of obeying. Yeah, that's good. So if you're compliant with my orders or my instructions, you're obeying my instructions. But you wouldn't obey a medicine regimen, would you?
rules, regulations can be.
Yeah, I suppose compliant would be something like following the rules or sticking to the rules. There's a great word that you could use maybe instead of sticking to.
Adherence.
I like that. Is that Siva?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. So adherent to rules or regulations. Okay. Or instructions. I like that. Yeah. So adherent to, that means to stick to. So and I like that. You know, you could be following. So she has not been compliant with her medication regimen. Can anyone give me a time phrase that I could finish that sentence with? So, time phrase.
For 3 months.
For 3 months, yeah. I like that. Why did you choose for 3 months and not last year?
Because this one present perfect tense.
Perfect. Yes, very good. So, excellent. Very happy with that. Okay, now complaint. Complaint. I'm going to ask Sonia. Are you there, Sonia? Good morning, Sonia. No, no Sonia. Okay, fitter.
Yes.
Can you give me an example with the word complaint? We'll do the example first and then go back to the definition.
Complain, can I use complain about something?
No, I want you to use the word complaint. Good morning, Sandhya. Good morning. Go on, fitter. The word complaint. I don't want you to say complain or complaining. I want you to say complaint.
But I don't know the meaning. I'm not sure the meaning.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a noun. It's the noun of complain. Complain's a verb, isn't it? So you can make one, you can receive one. So think of situations where people complain, fitter. Restaurant, maybe?
Yeah, she complained about the food.
She complained about the food. Who did she complain to?
The customer.
No, the customer made the complaint, didn't they?
She complained to the manager.
Yeah, she complained to the manager. Okay, so the manager, the restaurant manager received
a complaint from the
from a customer. Yeah. So can you see how that works, fitter? Okay, it's the noun form. A complaint is when somebody says they have a problem. Okay, a complaint.
Right.
Yeah, so it's the noun form of the verb to complain.
Yeah, now I can see the difference between complaint and complaint.
And also, let's put it into the past. A customer, what did a customer do yesterday? Yesterday,
The customer complained.
complained, yeah, like that, about our soup. Yeah. So we've got complained in the past and we've got complaint, which is the noun. Okay. Does that make sense, Fita?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Sandhya, are you there?
Yes.
Hello, Sandhya. I can hear you. Hi, Sandhya. Okay.
Hi, sir.
Accept. Okay. So what does it mean to accept something? Or do you have an example of accepting? I think we've got some connection issues there, Sandhya, unfortunately. I'll go to John. Are you there? Hello, John. I saw your microphone come on before. It seems everyone's very quiet today. I'm going to have to ask the same people time and time again. Okay, Siva.
Yes, sir.
Accept.
Yes, sir.
He accepted the job offer.
Yeah, he accepted the job offer. Okay, brilliant. So what does that mean then, to accept? In this case, it's sort of, we've got different meanings of it. In this case, it means he said yes, doesn't
Agree.
it? To agree to. Yeah, so he agreed to. So we've got multiple meaning here. So it could be agree to, or can anyone think of a word which is the same as to agree to something? Yep, Sandhya, that's good.
Agree.
You know, has anyone got children in school?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes your children might come home and say, you need to sign this form.
Consent.
Consent, yes, exactly. To consent to say yes, to agree to, consent to. It can also mean to allow. Okay, so.
About permission.
Well, to give permission. To consent to is to give permission, yeah. But to allow, in this case, he accepted the explanation. Okay, or he accepted the prize. Okay, so you're allowing it to accept. You could also accept somebody into your club. Yeah, so you allow them to come in. So you've got this concept with accept, which is positive. You're saying yes to something. Okay, now accept is a bit strange. Now, Fauzia, you were the one who gave me this before. So accept, try and think of an example and not the definition at this moment.
Okay. I worked whole week
Mhm.
except Tuesday.
I worked the whole week,
I worked the
comma,
whole week, comma, except Tuesday.
except, well, we would normally, yeah, okay, we can do that. Except for Tuesday would be better, but except, yeah, except Tuesday is fine. So that basically means all, but not
Other
this
than
one.
it can be, yeah, all but not this one, yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically what that means. All of the others, but not this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the example I normally use is everyone can come to my house except for Sujith.
No.
No, that's not very fair, is it? No, you are invited really, Sujith, okay, when you get to the UK. Okay, Sujith, let's look at the next one, Sujith. Okay, so affect and effect. Now, be honest with me, Sujith. Do you know the difference between affect and effect?
Affect. Both are same only.
Okay, it's got a, they're very similar. They're very similar, but
There are some difference.
there is a difference. Okay, when we talk about affecting something or the effect of something, we're talking about impact. Okay, we're
Some
talking.
feelings.
Your feelings could change, could be impacted. But the big difference is, okay, each time, let's look at what we're looking at here. We've got, okay, affect is the verb, okay,
Okay.
and effect is a noun. So when you change something, when you have an impact on something, you have an affect on it. Okay, you have, so
Influence.
sorry, you have an effect on it. So you affect it. So here we go. We say, so in this case, it's a verb, to change or have an impact on something. Okay, so we could say something like a lack of sleep affects productivity. Would you say that that's true, Sujith?
Yes, that's correct.
It's
Affects
absolutely
productivity.
true, isn't it? Positively or negatively?
Negative.
Negative.
Negatively. So negative
Negatively.
effect.
Yeah. Could you just as a quick question, where could we put the word negatively in that sentence? Could we put it here? That doesn't feel right, does it?
No.
Negative effect.
Affects. So this here.
Negatively.
We don't want it there either. But there are two places we can put it here. Yeah, so a lack of sleep negatively affects productivity. Is there anywhere else we could put that? So it's not going to be negatively a lack of sleep. It's not a negatively lack of sleep. It's not a lack negatively of sleep or a lack of negatively sleep. So where else
Last we can add after, after productivity comma productivity like
we don't even need a comma, Sujith. So a lack of sleep affects productivity negatively. Yep. Okay.
Take them out.
Yes.
Whether the word affects always gives negative influence or negative impact.
No. We could say something. Yeah, we could say sunshine affects people's happiness. Oops. In what way? In that way, we think it's positively, don't we? So affect can be positive, can be negative. It's not always negative. It just means.
the way the parents behave affects the children.
Of course, that's perfect. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's really good. Now, effect. Now, we always have an effect, Sujith. So we have an effect. So this is the noun. Okay, so this is the impact or change. Okay, the impact or, sorry, let's put an impact or change. So now it's a noun. So can you give me a sentence with that in, Sujith?
Impact.
Let's just use this. Okay. So we could say
Sleep.
a lack of sleep. Yeah. Whoops.
A lack of sleeps.
Can affect.
That would be a noun, wouldn't it? Can affect. That's a modal verb, and then it would be affect. So look what we've got here. It's just the same. A lack of sleep has
The effect of
productivity.
An effect on
On health.
Yeah. So we see there, don't we? They mean the same thing, but we've got a verb form and we've got a noun form. So let's look at these ones here. What about these words? Compliant. What does what type of word is compliant?
Is noun.
It's a verb.
Noun.
No, sorry, verb.
Adjective.
Verb.
It's an adjective. Yeah, we are describing her, aren't we? This is an adjective. You describe someone as compliant or non-compliant. Complaint, we've said already, is a noun. What if we look at accept?
That's adjective.
That's a verb, isn't it?
Verb.
Now, accept is a strange one. I think it's probably an adverb. Let's go and have a check. Let's go and check it. You see, when I'm not sure about a word, I just think, you know what, I'm going to find out.
Preposition.
Accept. Preposition, excellent. Yeah, conjunction, it can be a verb as well. Okay. Yeah. Just because I'm an English teacher doesn't mean I know everything. Okay, so preposition. Who was it who said preposition?
Sonia.
Nice work, Sonia.
Thank you.
Okay. How did you work that out, or did you just know?
Before I remember everything, I Googled it. I see which kind of type of word.
Okay, super. Well, that's great. That's exactly what we want. We want people to improve what they know, always increase the amount that you know. Okay, admit and admit to. Okay, so we've got different ones here. Okay, so we've got admit to. So actually, I'll tell you what. Yeah, we've got different meanings of admit and admit to. I'm going to put another line in here. Okay. Now, this is one of the reasons why English is so crazy. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the difference between present and admit. So first of all, admit and present are both what types of word?
Verbs.
Verbs, okay. We're going to use them as verbs. Notice something that you might not know about English. Let me just show you these two words. Okay. Both those words are different, aren't they?
No.
Yes.
It's not a trick question, honestly, Siva. It's not a trick question.
Yes.
They can have different meanings.
They can have different meanings, and the reason that you know they're different is pronunciation. So, as a verb, it's like this: record, record, and as a noun, it's like this:
Record.
Recording.
Yeah, a record, a record. So that's a general rule that you'll find in English when there's a word that can be a verb and a noun. When it's a verb, you stress the second part. So let's go back. How do you pronounce this word?
Present.
Present, because it's a verb. If it was a noun, how would you do that?
Present.
Present.
A present, yeah.
A present.
So what time of year do we give presents?
On
Christmas
Christmas?
time.
We give
Usually.
presents at Christmas usually. Yeah, okay. So we give presents at Christmas in the UK
In
anyway.
time, birthday time.
In the daytime, did you say then?
No,
Every day?
Birthday.
Oh, birthdays as well, and
Yeah.
Wedding time.
and on birthdays. Yeah. Okay. Well, we could make a long list of those. Okay. So now present and admit. Okay. Now this is interesting. People often get confused in OET between the passive and the active of these two. So which one do you think should be active and which one do you think should be passive?
Present is active.
Yeah. Give me the sentence, Fauzia. She
She was present.
active. She presented
Presented.
with symptoms of, I don't know,
Headache.
bronchitis. Let's put bronchitis. Okay. But this would be passive, wouldn't it? So what would the passive be? She
presented.
was, no, not presented. She was admitted
Admitted
with
to the
symptoms of bronchitis. Okay, now that's a big one that people often get wrong. Now, and you think about it, there really isn't. It's not that complicated, is it? But people do make that mistake. And I think it's because when you're in the exam, you're under stress, you're making mistakes that you don't normally do. And they seem silly afterwards. Okay, now admit to. Now this can be two different things. So this one, admitted, this means the same thing as my other admit to. So in this case, what does it mean to admit someone?
To be accepted?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
To enter.
Accepted into a place or a club. Okay, to admit to, and that's the same here. It can be active or passive. So I'll take that one away. But it can also mean something else, to admit to something.
Like agree.
No, not agree. So was it you who
Admit a
knocked
mistake.
over? Yeah.
Admit her name.
Yeah. So who knocked over the milk? Well, is no one going to admit to it? Who knocked over the milk? I think, Fauzia, was it you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you admitted to. So that means
Admitted.
to say it was you, or there's another word, and it quite often gets used in Catholic Church when you go and talk to the priest and you tell the priest all of the things that you've done wrong.
Confess.
Confess. Yeah. To confess. So admit to something. So Fauzia admitted to spilling the milk. But we've got a great phrase in English. There's no point crying over spilt milk. Okay, it's nothing. It's not important. Okay, so in this case, we've got present, and there we've got present as the noun. So notice that we have different forms of words with prepositions. We have the same form with different pronunciations, and we can get confused with them. Okay, next one. This is one. I don't know why. I think all teachers, when they see the same mistakes happening all the time, and we do, obviously, most people come with similar errors, and that's why we're doing a class like that. There are some errors which really annoy me. I've got to say, I really don't like this mistake. There are lots of mistakes that I don't mind, but this one, whenever I see it, it just sort of annoys me a little bit. So let's look at the form. Advice, what type of word is it?
Noun.
Noun.
You're right, it's a noun. What type of word is this?
Verb.
It's a verb, yes. Okay, so we should never confuse these two, ever. Pronunciation. So I'm going to ask, let me ask Siva, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you pronounce the noun for me?
Advice.
That's great. And the verb?
Advice.
Sounds very similar. This one here, pretend it's a z like this. How would you pronounce it?
Advise.
Advice.
Advise, yeah.
Advice.
Now that's a big difference. If you think to yourself, oh, I know that they pronounce differently, then you'll treat them differently in a sentence. So what is advice as a noun? What is it?
Suggestion.
Like
To give an advice.
recommendation.
Recommendation.
Yeah,
Suggestion.
it could be a recommendation. Yeah, it could be helpful tip. Yeah, okay. So, do you like receiving advice?
Yes.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Not
All right,
always.
okay. Let's say that I was in the back seat of your car and I was saying, you should check your mirrors more often.
Oh no.
Did you
No.
indicate then? Okay, so,
No.
okay.
You're gonna be annoying.
A backseat driver, yeah. I think it depends, doesn't it, on who's giving you the advice. Sometimes it feels really helpful. It's great to get advice from a teacher because you're in that mode, aren't you? You like to receive advice. Okay, so let me ask Andrea. Give me an example, please.
I received an advice from my teacher.
I received an advice from my teacher. Now, can you tell from the tone of my voice, Andrea? I'm not exactly happy.
A piece of advice.
A piece of advice, yeah, because advice is an uncountable noun. Just like cake. Cake can be both, I got a cake, but if it was a whole cake like this, a really big cake that weighed 2 kilograms, you wouldn't say, I ate cake. You'd say, I ate a piece of cake. I had a piece of cake.
I knew I should use pieces of advice in plural, but I didn't know in singular I should say a piece of advice.
You can say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have an article. That's fine. I drank water. But if you're talking about a little bit, just like with coffee, it's a cup of coffee. With water, a glass of water, or some coffee or some water. It could be some advice. It could be a piece of advice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can advice be good and bad, Andrea?
I don't think so. Only
really?
Useful.
Okay, I'm going to give you some advice now, Andrea. Are you ready? Okay. If you really want to have really, really white teeth, okay, what you should do is you should make sure that you sleep 4 hours a night.
I did it. It cannot be.
Is that a good piece of advice or a bad piece of advice?
It's useless.
It's useless. Yeah, it's just bad advice, isn't it? You could get even worse advice than this. How about this, Andrea? Would you like to make £1 million?
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, okay. You'd like to make £1 million. I've got a great bit of advice. Okay. What you should do is take all of the money out of your account, give it to me today. And what I will do is I promise I will get it back to you by next week and it will be £1 million. A great piece of advice.
Impossible.
Rubbish advice.
It's just nonsense. Yeah, okay. So advice can be good or bad. We also, you know what? We could use welcome advice. What do you think? Do you think it's a good piece of advice if it's welcome advice?
Yeah, that's good.
It's nice, isn't it? It means that you maybe you didn't realize you needed it, but you're happy that you got it. Okay. So
in the definition, you should say helpful or not helpful.
Helpful, yeah. Helpful, yeah. Helpful or unhelpful. Okay, what about advise then, Andrea? Advise, give me it in a verb form.
I advise you to stop lying me.
Stop lying, yeah. Lying to me, yeah. I advise you to stop lying to me. Okay. Or else.
I will tell it to Alan.
Yeah, you tell Alan. Yeah, okay, I will. I promise. I'll stop lying now. Okay. All right. Okay, assure. Let's go with Sonia. Are you there?
Yes.
Assure, ensure, and insure.
Oh my God.
Oh, you can give me assure, and then I'll go down to John because I know. Oh, actually, I think John's microphone's not on. But okay,
Assure is verb.
assure is a verb. All of these are verb.
All of
actually.
them.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all verbs, and they all mean slightly different things, but they all have something in common, don't they? What word do they have in common? They have an adjective in common.
Sure. Make
Sure.
sure. Make
Yeah, that's the feeling. So being sure means if you feel solid about it,
being confident about
you're
something.
confident in it. Yeah. So all of these have got a relationship with that idea. So to assure or to assure is to
assure you. I assure you that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, I assure you that it won't happen again.
That
Okay. It won't happen again. So this is maybe after somebody's complained about a fly in their soup. Yeah. After that complaint. So that's what somebody might say. Yeah, the restaurant manager might say, I assure you it won't happen again. Okay, yeah, that's good. So in this case, it's giving
reassurance.
Giving no, not really. It's sort of
Assuring.
it's like making a promise, isn't it?
Yes.
Making a promise that something is true. I think that that's what assuring is in this case. Reassure. We'll put that as a different word.
That's
to reassure. It's a strange word, isn't it? Because what does re normally mean?
Repeating.
Yeah, it normally means to do something again. So if you make a promise that something is true, and then you remake that promise, it's a strange idea, but it's sort of it's to make someone feel better about something which is bad, isn't it?
I don't know when I can use that.
Okay, well you when you do OET speaking, you always reassure people.
Reassurance, yeah.
So it sort of makes someone feel better about something they feel bad about.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy way to do. So
a positive.
Yeah, I needed to reassure the patient that she would be able to walk again.
Okay.
Okay, so she had an operation on her knee and she was lying there saying, I'll never be able to walk again. No, I'm sure you'll be able to. Okay, you just one step at a time, and by Christmas you'll be walking. Okay, so you're reassuring them. Okay, to ensure. To ensure.
Please ensure something like happen.
Yeah, okay. So to ensure is to guarantee.
Guarantee.
That something happens. Okay. To guarantee that something happens, I will ensure that your car is cleaned by 3 p.m.
Can we say I will ensure you bring object after that?
I will ensure you. No, you would say
No.
I assure you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So what about insure?
It's like insurance.
It is, exactly, yeah. So all of these are part of the same family, aren't they? So to insure, the noun is insurance. So what do you need insurance for, Sonia?
I need insurance for
home insurance for car.
Car insurance, home insurance, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I need
Health
to
insurance.
What word would it be? Okay.
To be insured, no.
Okay, actually no. Yeah, okay, sorry. I need to insure my car.
Insure.
Is how you do it. What word would you use here? I need to what word would you put there? I need to I had it last year and it's going to finish in the next week. So I need
I need to ensure.
There's a word which renew,
Ensure.
Sophia, superb, yeah.
Oh, renew. Okay,
Isn't that that's a nice word in English, isn't it? There are a lot of words in English where you just say, where did that come from? I don't understand why they use that. But renew, it's like make it new again.
Yes.
It's a nice word, isn't it? Really makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions so far about these ones? So to ensure, this means to what would it mean to ensure? it's sort of to pay a small amount in order to get the money back in when something goes when it gets damaged. Let's put that.
So this verb is more related to financial things, not about the feeling or making someone.
It's about finance. Yeah, to pay a small amount of money related to an object in order to get the money back when it gets damaged. You can also get life insurance, which is not really an object, is it, that you can touch? But so if somebody says to you, I think we need to change your life insurance, how should you feel?
The insurance is not
Well,
really good. No?
I'd be feeling worried. I'd be thinking, why do they want me to change my life insurance? Maybe you might fall off a bridge or have a car crash in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so this is to give a recommendation up here. Yeah, if someone changes your life insurance, it means maybe they've got some plans and they want to get the insurance after you've gone. Okay, 7. Now let's choose, who have we got? John, are you back? Is your microphone working now, John? No, John, still gone. Fita, can you come back, please? Breath and breathe. Breath and breathe.
I stopped breathing.
Okay, yeah, okay. I stopped breathing when the phone rang. Okay, so I stopped breathing when the phone rang. Okay, how are you feeling?
Bad.
Bad, not bad. I mean, bad's one of the first words you learned in English, isn't it? You've got a better word than that. You felt, why would you stop breathing when the phone rings? You don't normally. It's normally, hello, Paul speaking. But this time,
shocked.
Well, you don't know who. You don't know who's there. Anxious, maybe nervous.
Nervous, yeah.
Because they're ringing up to say the results. Ooh, okay. Or it could be you look at the phone and it's the number of the guy you've been waiting for. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Breath. So breathe. How would you define what it means to breathe, Fita?
To
breathe. To
inhale
air.
Yeah.
Or it could be so that would be breathe in and breathe out. So inhale, exhale. Yeah. Inhale, exhale air into the lungs, out of the lungs. Yeah. Okay. And what's breath, Fita?
This is also like process of inhaling.
Well, no, that's not the process. This is a verb. And breath is
noun.
It's a noun.
Noun.
Yeah. So what is our breath, Fita?
Can we say, I don't know.
It's an amount of air which is
inhaling and exhaling.
Inhaled or exhaled.
Which keeps you alive.
Yeah, which just keeps you. Yeah, your last breath. Yeah. With his last breath, he said, Paul, I love you. Yeah. Okay. So it could be his so he let out a breath.
His breath. Can you say his breath or a breath?
His breath, yeah. Yeah. Or you can say something like this. He had horrible breath. Yeah, you can have that as well. That's not very nice, but yeah, you can do that as well. So, but normally he let out a breath and answered the phone. Ooh, dramatic. He let out a breath and answered the phone. Now, I have a problem. People say he had a problem breath, or he couldn't breath. Well, that's not right, is it? It would be he had a problem breathing, or he had a problem with his breathing. or he couldn't breathe. Yeah, he struggled to breathe. So we need the verb for that. Often in OET, I've seen that problem. I think, funnily enough, Fauzia, I think it's Lionel Ramamurthy. He's got symptoms of pneumonia. He's got problems with his breathing. Yeah. Okay, emigrate and immigrate.
Emigrate is to move from one country to another, like I moved from Saudi Arabia
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
to the UK.
Yep, to move from one country to live in
To
another.
different country.
Yep, another country. Okay, immigrate. Ooh. Now it's a strange one, isn't it? It means to come into a new country to live. So emigration is focusing on the country that you've left. I emigrated from Pakistan. And to immigrate focuses on the country where they come in. So what's the name of the department that you have to
Immigration.
Immigration.
Yeah. Yeah. So immigration's the department of the airport, isn't it? When where you have to say, here's my passport, this is the reason I'm coming to this country. Yeah. Okay, so we've still got patience, we've still got a few left. So I think that what we'll do is tomorrow, let's come back and we'll just fill in the rest of these gaps and we'll look at a few other things. Now, if there's anything in particular that you'd like to look at tomorrow, just let me know. And what we'll do is we'll just bring it in and we'll look at it tomorrow. It's Friday, end of the week. We've got 1 hour to look at some things. We'll probably spend 25 minutes, 20 minutes on this stuff. If there's anything else that you'd like to look at, please just let me know and we'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.